ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world. For 47 years, the Iranian regime has chanted death to America and waged an unending campaign of bloodshed and mass murder, targeting the United States, our troops, and the innocent people in many, many countries. Among the regime's very first acts was to back a violent takeover of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, holding dozens of American hostages for 444 days. In 1983, Iran's proxies carried out the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut that killed 241 American military personnel. In 2000, they knew and were probably involved with the attack on the USS Cole. Many died. Iranian forces killed and maimed hundreds of American service members in Iraq. The regime's proxies have continued to launch countless attacks against American forces stationed in the Middle East in recent years, as well as U.S. naval and commercial vessels in international shipping lanes. It's been mass terror, and we're not going to put up with it any longer. From Lebanon to Yemen and Syria to Iraq, the regime has armed, trained, and funded terrorist militias that have soaked the earth with blood and guts. And it was Iran's proxy, Hamas, that launched the monstrous October 7th attacks on Israel, slaughtering more than 1,000 innocent people, including 46 Americans, while taking 12 of our citizens hostage. It was brutal, something like the world has never seen before. Iran is the world's #1 state sponsor of terror and just recently killed tens of thousands of its own citizens on the street as they protested. It has always been the policy of the United States, in particular, my administration, that this terrorist regime can never have a nuclear weapon. I'll say it again. They can never have a nuclear weapon. That is why in Operation Midnight Hammer last June, we obliterated the regime's nuclear program at Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. After that attack, we warned them never to resume their malicious pursuit of nuclear weapons, and we sought repeatedly to make a deal. We tried. They wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. Again, they wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. They didn't know what was happening. They just wanted to practice evil. But Iran refused, just as it has for decades and decades. They rejected every opportunity to renounce their nuclear ambitions, and we can't take it anymore. Shalom. Giving no praise to Yahweh.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 11, and verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
We'd like to start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all infinite glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
We would love to give double honors to our elders and our apostles of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, love, blessings, and many salutations to the Lord's elect, to the Akim scattered abroad, the four countries of the earth that preach this truth with all truth and all sincerity. But most importantly, always with charity, man. We a couple brothers of the Great Millstone, Cleveland, coming back at you. And you see the title, man. World War III updates, because that's what's popping, man. Israel and America just struck Iran, and this is all leading unto what, man? I ain't gonna say leading because we here now. World War III is in the making, and the old wars back in the day was fought with what? I ain't gonna say sticks and stones, but you know what I mean. It wasn't nuclear. It was like swords and shields and guns and some bombs, but it wasn't nuclear though. But this war that's brewing up will be nuclear war. But
I got one real
Isaiah
quick.
9.
Yeah. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 9 and verse 5. It says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise."
Now you could Google on your phone or your laptop, your computer, sounds of World War III, and you will literally hear exactly what he just read. Read that back one more time.
Isaiah 9 and 5. "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood."
See, confused noise. That's that ching, chong, and bombs going off and shit blowing up. But it said, but this one shall be with what?
It says, "But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire."
But this war shall be with burning and fuel of fire, man. That's World War III, man. And that's what's brewing up, man. That's what's here. And the two main catalysts is what? America, which was known as Babylon, and then you got Israel, which is the least of the flock. That's why the scriptures say the least of the flock shall draw them out, because it's all about the controversy of Israel, man. But the true Israelites are the so-called Negro, Latino, Native, and Seminole Indian, man. Don't you got one?
Yeah, real quick. This is the book of Revelations, chapter 2 and verse 11. It says, "He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death." And that second death is what we're speaking about, right? That World War III. All right. The second death consists of death by fire, man. Right. The scriptures tell us how the first death was the flood. All right. And that second death is going to be this nuclear ICBM war, man, that's going to be fought. And America is prophesied to be destroyed, man.
Hey, if I can just add on to what you just said, a lot of people is go past, man. Trump said, I got this other video. Trump said America will lose a lot of people. Like that literally came out his mouth. And with that statement, I'll grab it because I see you looking for something.
Second Ezra's.
Okay, I think it's Isaiah. What is it? 25 and 33, maybe. Let me see.
No, not 25 or 33.
That ain't it.
No, you go to 12.
Uh,
What does it say?
At that day, the slander of the Lord shall be from one end of the earth unto the other end of the earth. I know the scripture by heart. I don't know why I can't think of it.
Isaiah 66
66 and what?
and 5. It says, "Hear the word of the Lord, ye that tremble." No.
At that day, the slander of the Lord. Or is it Jeremiah 25 and 33?
Time. This is Jeremiah chapter 25 and verse 33. It says, "And the slain of the Lord shall be at that day from one end of the earth, even unto the other end of the earth."
See what the slain of the Lord is going to be from one end of the earth to the other end of the earth. But the main judgment, Baba Kashah Salakia, get Joel 3 and 9. That's what I really wanted. But it's going to be death everywhere, man. Because World War III, Jacob's trouble, tribulation is all adding up to the same thing.
This is the book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 9. It says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles."
That's what I really wanted. And those Gentiles is talking about the Gentile nations that you see growing up for war, man. Russia, you feel me? Iran, China, all these different heathen Gentile nations.
It says, "Prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near.
And that's what you see. You see everybody pouring in most of their resources for what, man? Weapons of war, nuclear war. Everybody's budget is skyrocketing high, especially America, man. America annually spends millions of dollars and billions of dollars on their warfare, man. That's why they're known as the hammer of the earth.
It says, let them come up. Verse 10, beat your plowshares into swords.
I just mentioned that they're spending their resources on weapons of war, man.
It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong.
That's the other nations like Iran and all these different nations. What they call the one dude, little
Rocket Man. Rocket Man.
Yeah.
Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un, man. They not a very large spot, but guess what? They got nuclear capabilities now. So let the weak say, I am strong.
It says, assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen.
When you assemble something, you put it together, you gather it. So the Most High gathering these nations.
And real quick, just because you said that, this is Isaiah 13:4. It says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. Well, this was, I think it was Zechariah.
That's a good one too, though.
But yeah, it says, nations gathered together, the Lord of hosts mustereth the host of battle, right? And that's what you're seeing. You're seeing the Lord gather all these nations together for that ultimate battle, man. All right, and they're all going to be destroyed, man, pursuant to Second Esdras. All right, but it says, assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause the mighty ones to come down, O Lord.
That's talking about the angels. The mighty ones, it's the angels. And that's why you keep seeing and hearing everyone speaks of so-called UFOs, which are the chariots of Israel, the chariots of Yasharallah, man, the chariots of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, are way out of here because America will be totally eradicated off the face of the earth, and the only way to be saved is going up. That's why when you read the book of Revelation, the 15th chapter, matter of fact, just grab it real quick on this verse 2. Because this is a vision that John had.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 15 and verse 2. And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire.
See, that's John seeing over the ozone layer, the destruction of America, man. A sea of glass, which is the ozone layer, mingled with fire. So he literally saw like fire and the destruction, man.
And them that had gotten the victory over the beast.
That's the elect. And the beast is talking about America, NATO, and this system, man.
It says, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name.
See, that's over the RFID chip. Was this the mark of the beast, man? Over the image, over the ways, over the philosophies that America pushes. They didn't get caught up in a football career. They didn't get caught up in a rap career, but they stayed 10 toes down, man, to be them pillars for Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah.
And over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High.
That's that victory, man. It represents the victory because the elect only wants that's to go get the victory. Anybody else that's on the shores of America will be totally annihilated. Was it some on that Joel 3? If it wasn't, get Joel 2. I think it was.
Verse 12 on the Joel 3. Or, I don't know. Verse 12. It says, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the Joel 3:12. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Right, and that's the Lord. That's what you see taking place, man, with the Lord gathering these nations to bring them to the valley of the Lord's judgment, man. Right, and there He's going to judge all these nations, meaning He's going to put them all to death, man. Right, the Lord is not about to sit down and come up with a contract with these other nations, man. All right, the Lord is going to put them to death because we are at the end. The Scripture says that Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it, man. And the end is going to be with great violence, man.
How we go close out on this Joel 2. You can start right at the top.
It's the book of Joel, chapter 2, and verse 1. It says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion.
Now, blowing the trumpet represents waking up the people, man. Being the watchmen, man. Being the prophets and the seers for the nation, but the whole nation don't want it, so it's really only for the elect. So we blowing that trumpet, getting the people ready, getting them built up in the spirit for what's to come, because it's nothing good is coming.
It says, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain.
And the alarm is that warning, man. The holy mountain is the Lord's people, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Seminole Indian. We telling you the name to call on in these times. You know what I mean? We telling you what pleases Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah. We telling you what don't please them, like Isaiah 58:1 say, cry loud, spirit not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob, which are you tribes, their iniquity, their sins, their faults against Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah.
It says, sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble.
Because you're supposed to be afraid when you hear this message, because fear puts you into action. When I heard that America was going to be destroyed, that put me in fear of what should I do to get myself together so I don't have to feel the wrath.
The scripture say that. It says, knowing that all these
things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought you to be?
It says, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand.
It's nigh at hand. It's nearer than ever. Get Romans 13:11 just real quick, because it say the day of the Lord, which is not a great day, like the Christians will tell you, like people that's not in a know will tell you, because the day of the Lord is a bad day. It's not a good day. It's a good day for the ones that's chosen to be saved, but for everybody else, it's a bad day.
This Romans chapter 13 and verse 11, it says, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. Right, and our salvation is nearer, man. Right, seeing all these signs, right, that are taking place in the earth, right, this shows you how close we are to the end, man. Right, and what you should do, because a lot of people fall out, man. Right, they get close to the end, they start getting scared, man. Right, knowing that your children may be destroyed, right, knowing that you're gonna have to go without, right. But that was it for this.
All right.
Back in this Joel 2 and verse 2, it says, a day of darkness.
You see, because at the end of 1, it says, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. Now it's about to tell you what the day of the Lord consists of. A day of darkness.
And of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong.
Now this is going into the missiles. It say a great people and a strong. This is an analogy, because the Bible is full of what? Analogies and what's
allegories and symbols.
Yeah.
It says, a great people and a strong, there have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it.
Because in World War III, it's only going to be one day of nukes being shot off. That's why I say there have not been ever the like, because before this World War III, nobody ever shot nukes. And it says, neither shall there be any more after. Because after World War III, this is the war to end all wars. Because after this war, Israel will get set up back in the Holy Land. And like the book of Isaiah 2 say, and the book of Micah 4 say, man, it's going to be peace. We go be in order. The Most High going to be dealing with us. No more war is going to take place, man. Simple as that.
It says, there have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. Right? Because this is going to be the last war, man. Right? There's not going to be any more wars after this war, man, because the righteous will be ruling the earth, man. The only reason why there is war is because the wicked are ruling the earth, man. Right? And the scripture says that since thou hast not hated blood, right? Right. And that's what you see happening, man. All of these other nations gathering against America, man. This is blood pursuing this place, man. Okay, verse 3, it says, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth.
That's talking about the missiles, because we know that the power is in the tail.
The nuke, the warhead. It says a fire devoureth before them, right? And that fire before them is speaking about the warheads that's inside of the missile. It says, and behind them a flame burneth, and that flame burning behind those missiles is speaking about that propulsion system, right? What pushes that missile out of the atmosphere and back into the atmosphere. It says the land is as a garden of Eden before them, right? Because coming from on high, right? It's grass, it's trees, it's clear water, right? It looks like a paradise. It says a flame burner, it says, is as the garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness, right? Because after those missiles strike the earth, it's going to wipe everything out, man. The scriptures talk about a wind, right? That's going to blow everything over, man. All right, it's going to burn everything up. It's going to look like a desert.
That destroying wind.
Yep.
Let me try. No, hold on. I'm just about to try to find this one scripture. Behind the mountains of the was the Lord mad at the? We get to see the mountains quite at him. No, we can stand for him. Night home, is it?
This that's what you want.
What did it say? Where is that?
Let's see. It says, was the Lord displeased against the rivers?
Yeah.
This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 3 and verse 8. It says, was the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai displeased against the rivers? Was thine anger against the rivers? Was thy wrath against the sea, that thou didst ride upon thy horses and thy chariots of salvation?
You see, because everything was totally destroyed. Everything was annihilated, man. Everything in America will be totally burnt up, man.
Yeah, the scripture says that the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and everything is made up of elements, man.
I'll go back to the what's it called?
It says Joel 2 and 3, it says, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the garden of Eden before them, right, before those missiles hit, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yeah, and nothing shall escape them.
You see it say nothing. Everything in America, all 4,900 and something square feet, miles of America will be totally annihilated in this destruction, man. Where was you at?
That was Joel 2 and 3.
Okay, keep reading.
Verse 4, it says, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run.
Because they are in tune, they are in line. You feel me? They are in order. And then you go hear them coming too. That loud noise, man. Think about how when they do them rockets and planes, What's that for? What's that fucking holiday?
Oh, for Independence Day and Memorial Day and all
Memorial
that.
Day.
Yeah,
You feel me? Think about when it's really rockets and really nukes being shot off, and you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be going down.
It sounds like a like back in the day when they used to go to war and you heard all the horses and all the feet galloping and all that. That's what it's gonna sound like.
Yeah.
It says it says the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. Right, just like running into battle, man, on those horses. That's how those missiles are gonna be. It says, like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains, shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Right, these missiles are ultimately, this is the artillery of the Lord, man. Right, the scripture says that he created the smith, right, that bloweth the coals, man.
Mm-hmm.
So the Lord created these scientists. He allowed these scientists to get the understanding and the know-how to create his weapons of war, man. All right, and these weapons are created to be used, man. Hence the reason why all you hear is World War III talk, right?
That's that Proverbs, what is it, 16:4. The wicked were created for the dead eating. The Most High only made these people to make these weapons to destroy themselves.
Verse 6, it says, before their face the people shall be much pained, all faces shall gather blackness.
That's that confusion, man. They're going to be confused, not knowing what to do.
They shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks.
Because they are targeted to hit specific locations. And that's the way, Salaki, that's the way the Most High gave them more knowledge and more technology to be accurate. They could shoot a penny on the ground, you feel me, from a different country, man.
Precision.
Yeah, that's a great word. They're precise.
It says, neither shall one thrust another. Right, they're not going to bump into each other. That's going back to that precision, man. Because if they wasn't precise, then they would bump into each other, tumble each other. They wouldn't hit their mark, right? They're going to be precise because the Lord these are the Lord's weapons, man. So the Lord going to make sure these things take place. It says, neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one in his path. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded.
That's going into the missile defense system, man. It's not gonna work. It's gonna be 2,000 nuclear missiles shot according to the Book of Revelations, man. So how is your missile defense go hold off or strike down 200,000 nuclear missiles? It's impossible.
Right, that golden dome, like all of that's not. The scripture says that it's all in vain, man.
Yeah.
Because the Lord's will is going to be done, man, and the will is for this place to be destroyed. It says they shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. Right. There's nothing going to be able to stop these missiles, man. Right. And that window speaking about the heavens, man, because these are intercontinental ballistic missiles. They're going to go out of the atmosphere. Right. They're going to leave the continents. Right. And come back in through the windows, through the heavens, man.
Get the next two verses.
Verse 10, it says, the earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. Right. There's not going to be no light, man. Right. And there's not going to be no understanding, man. Right. People are not going to know what's taking place, man. All right. The ground is going to shake. Literally, it's going to cause earthquakes. Right. It's going to cause tsunamis. Okay. I think it's a scripture to talk about how it may be in this one where it talks about how the buildings should bleed, man. Basically, the building's going to crumble, and the bodies that are going to be in them, man. it says, verse 11, and the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great, right? The Lord of hosts, man, which is the Lord of armies. For he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible, and who can abide it? No one.
I'm going to grab this real quick. This Isaiah 54:16. Behold, I have created the smith that blow up the coal in the fire and bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy.
Right.
I'm going to read it again. Isaiah 54:16. Behold, I have created the smith.
The smith is the scientist, man. Right. This is the ones who split these atoms, right, and come up with these different you know, you got nuclear fusion, you got different kinds of nuclear, right? You got there's ships that don't have to get gas, basically, right? They can run for years, man, right, without having to be refueled, right? The Lord allowed these scientists to have that understanding, man, and know how to do these things, man. Certain planes that can stay flying, right, for months, okay, without needing to be refueled, man. Okay, that's a smith, a scientist, man.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 4. But thou, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book even to the time of the end.
Right, that's that understanding, man.
Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased.
Right, and we in the time where knowledge has been increased, man. Right, this devil can you can see what's going on, okay, millions of miles away from your phone, man. Right, that proves that knowledge has been increased, man.
Yeah, and like you was going in on a Smith and the atoms and stuff, the Most High gave this devil that knowledge at the end for a certain purpose, man. Because people talk about how the world is millions of years old, and that's all off according to the scriptures. And think about how slow humans would be if the world millions of years old and you just now learning how to fly and how to do this and how to do that after millions of years. You people is out of your mind. But this is back in Isaiah 54:16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coal and the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work.
Right, that instrument is those missiles, man. All right, that's going to shake the earth, man. It's going to shake everything out of its course.
And I have created the waster to destroy.
Right, those missiles are going to destroy the earth, man. Okay, it's going to destroy wherever Esau, Edom is dwelling at, man. All right.
Let me find this one more. I know it's in Isaiah 24 where it say he gonna make the earth tremble or shake. Is it 18? Yeah, 18 through 20.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 24, verse 18. It says, "And it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit, and he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare." Right. So there's no. Hey, the scripture says as if a man flee from a bear, man, right, or a lion, and a bear met him, or laid his hand upon a wall and a serpent bit him, man. So no matter what you do, right, those who are allotted to be destroyed, right, whether it's by the fire, whether it's by the famine, whether it's by the sword, right,
dogs to tear.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen, man. It says, "And he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare," right? The captivity to the captivity. It says, for the windows from on high are open, and the foundations of the earth do shake, right? Those are the windows, man. When those missiles come back into the ozone layer, man, right? Coming back down to earth. It says the earth is utterly broken down, the earth is clean dissolved, the earth is moved exceedingly, right?
Yeah, because fire and water are cleansing agents. Because the brother had mentioned it earlier how the first death was that water, and the second death is going to be that fire. To what? To cleanse the earth, man, because of all the wickedness. We have to purge this place, man. It's been nothing but perpetual wickedness and deceit and lies and gall being pushed. Esau ways been being pushed. The devil ways been being pushed on this earth continually for centuries, man.
It says, verse 20, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard.
The earth shall what?
It says, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard.
So that's going to take a lot of power, a lot of force. And like we've been going into World War III, those nuclear bombs being shot off is going to make the earth wheel to and fro like a drunkard, like a man staggers that's drunk, that's off in this equilibrium, trying to catch itself. That's how the earth is going to do when you got missiles being shot here, missiles being shot there, missiles being shot there. It's going to make the earth boom, 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 boom.
It says, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fail and not rise again. Right. The current rulership, man. Right. The ones who are ruling the earth, man. They shall fail and not rise again, man. There's not going to be another Edomite kingdom. Right. After this war, this is it, man. Okay. The rest of the heathens, along with Esau, Edom, they're going into captivity, man. And they're gonna build up the kingdom. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, right?
Who's on high? The armies of the high ones, Esau, Edom, that's on high. Esau got this shit on lock right now. But he start well Esau had this shit on lock, but he's starting to lose his grip, man. Everyone sees it. Everyone knows it. Look at the last president of the United States. Everyone mocked him.
Mm-hmm.
It was a symbol of America's fall, America's going down. This man fell like 5 or 6 times on camera. You feel me? And then they put DJ Trump back in there. He be shit on himself on camera. You feel me? Like everyone basically knows that America is a joke, and it's the downfall and the destruction of this place.
The scriptures say that. It says that they're going to take up a proverb against thee, man. They're going to say,
"Is this the man?"
Yeah. They're going to say, "How has you become as weak as we?" Yeah. It says, verse 21, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth.
And that's what you see about to happen, man. The Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua is about to punish you people, about to punish you heathens, about to punish 2/3 of his own people and anybody else, and set up the kingdom of heaven on the earth, man. Was that it?
Yeah, that was it pretty much.
Hey, man, so hopefully that was edifying, man. With that, we would love to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors once again to the elders, the elder apostle, the elder bishop that taught us this truth. Peace, love, blessings, and many salutations to the Lord's elect. Shalom and Abba Babal.
Abba Babal, Shalom.
And needed that before camp. Because I know they why they be